Good Saturday evening, Sunday morning, wherever you are. Hope you're all well. Welcome to Wacky Weekend Light, the Artie show without Artie. I am your substitute host, Anthony Dodge, known as the Model Train Outsider, the American Outsider, the Forever Outsider. Hope you're all well on that side of the camera screen. It's been a crazy week. Joyce decided to celebrate her spring break and 7 days off work with getting sick. So she's been sick pretty much all week here. And tomorrow we're having, actually my son and his wife will be here a little later this evening. If he gets here before before I go off air, I might have him come down and say hello. Yeah. Couple of talking points to go at. I've been working on some scenery. I didn't move the camera because I moved the camera out of the way. Let me see exactly. You probably can't see. Yeah, that's not a great view, but where is it? Here it is. So this is what is normally the 11-lane view, and last night and this morning, I was putting in some more grass. I actually added a little bit of rock. Unfortunately, I added too much, and there's way too much rock in that village. So I'm a little, I'll just get some more green scatter and put it over and tone down the rocks. But that's what I've been doing today. So let's see who is here. We got to go over here. And so I see Andy81, he is here. Attila Varga is here. Brian from Clintonville Model Railroad's here. Greg from Great Northern. Andy, the hot dog pilot, is here. John from Train BFGR is here. Randall Ellison is here, but he's dropping off the crew. Dirk from Southern Cross Rail System is here. Chris from Valley's 56XX is here. Mark from Zantec is here. Artie's not a freaking Ned Kelly. In fact, that just, I got to come clean here. For the last several weeks, I have been having to cover and do this show every week on top of my own live stream. I've been trying to cover for Artie. I promised him I wouldn't tell, but you know, I've had enough. I've had enough. The truth is Artie is in rehab. Artie got addicted to snorting coke, and he's in rehab. And unfortunately, it's not cocaine. He's literally snorting coke, and worse, it's Coke Zero. He's a mess. They have got him locked up in a little room. You know, I told Artie I would hold the fort until he could get himself clean, but every time they let him out, he just runs into a local carryout and 12 packs are gone. He just buys a case and it's just snort. And it's just, it's out of control. He needs help and he won't listen to help. And maybe by putting it out there, he can't hide from it anymore. Joyce and I have been his friends. We've been covering for him for weeks, but we just can't cover for him anymore. Even Attila Varga has been covering for him, and Attila, you just need to, we can't keep covering for him. Artie will just use you like that. He'll just keep using you to cover for him, but no more. It's all been a charade the last few weeks, and And no, Pepsi probably wouldn't be so bad. Pepsi's weaker. They were going to throw, hey, Thomas from St. Peter's Layout, how are you doing? I'm doing relatively well, all things considered. And I saw Ray and Tammy from Mom and Son Rail Fan and such are here, getting ready for Easter. Joyce has been baking biscuits. We are done doing the 30 people dinners, the 30 plus. We would do Easter and Thanksgiving for Joyce's family, and that would be anywhere from 32 to 37 people in our house, which was just way too many. But now it's just, we don't make a big deal about Easter, but it is a family get together day, and we do little things. But my son and his wife will be here later this evening. Obviously, my daughter, her husband, and Kyan will come over tomorrow. So we'll have the family. I don't think we have anybody else coming in. Did I see RGJ Trains is here? You can't stay at Rob's going to sleep. Yeah, I understand. I'm surprised we do get a few UK people in here as well. But yeah, so maybe if you can all contribute to the, just helping force Artie to face reality, and maybe we can get him back. It's just sometimes tough love is the only love you can give. Oh, I'm sorry you've got the bum tooth. Sorry about that. So anyhow, on that note, the last week the last 2 weeks have been kind of a roller coaster. The positives have been, I've been working on the layout, and as I was just showing you guys in that camera view, I have laid some more grass down. So we're getting more and more grass down. Like I said, I added some rocks, but boy, I didn't think I added that much. But once I sprinkled it, boy, did they bleed up through the grass. I think it looks cool. I just think there's too much rock there and some little tufts of grass in there. Hope to get a review on this model coming up. A lost bit of modeling mojo. Well, yeah, but you also, it's been how many years that I've been talking with you, and I've got a duck in my face, but it's been how many years that I've been talking to you, Thomas, and you were studying, and now you're actually working, I believe, in the train industry and such. So, it's been great to see your progress. I miss talking to you the way we used to. The problem is the glue's already got it set, so I can't hoover up. All I can do is I'm out of green scatter that doesn't have rock in it. I'll get some more green scatter maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. But let me get this duck out of my face. There, that's better. If I'm going to have logos, I want them to be my own. So we are definitely, so that's been a positive overall. I had the negative of I got the Jägendorfer collection night jet locomotive that proved to be a disaster. And then live on my live stream last week, Friday, Brian gave me a link and I found it and it came in, and I was showing this on my live stream yesterday. It's all run in. There's a video up about it on my channel about this one. And yesterday on my live stream, I was doing a little picture comparison of the two. And in all honesty, although I still think the Jägendorfer collection is a more vibrant color, even though it's supposed to be the same livery, we found some things that there's a little bit more detail in the overall in the Roco, that there are stars in the star field that aren't on the Jägendorfer collection that are on the Roco version. absolutely kind of cool there. So that was an up and down thing. And then, of course, Joyce has been sick and it's bummed her out because she wanted to get a lot of things done this week. She felt good enough that we went out to the shops today and bought some garden stuff that we, for when we get ready to start doing the garden. I know a lot of people in the UK have been working on their garden, but for where we're at, usually you don't start till very late April, early May with at least the type of flowers and things that we plant because, it's just nuts. Hey, you can run out of characters. Who knew? Hey, Eric, how are you? From Bondan Eisenbahn. Nice to have you here. And I think I saw Dave from Scott Rails came in. So last week, I tried to start the conversation off with, and it actually went pretty good, a locomotive that broke your heart, and some of you shared. So today, let's open it up and talk about locomotives or train sets and try to keep it like to one or two at most. I think we had a couple people last week that decided to talk about 10 locomotives that broke their hearts. But, let's go for worst case scenario or today, best case scenario. The one locomotive that really surprised you in a positive way. For example, I have it on a shelf. I didn't go grab it. I bought for about $100. I bought an old American class BR50 steam locomotive. I wasn't expecting much of it, but it's beautiful. It runs like it's brand new. It's powerful. It's everything you could have asked. It's a 21-year-old locomotive that had never been run. So it was like new, other than had never been run, and in 20 years to do that. And that thing just, I love to run it. I don't run it a lot because I've got so many trains to run. But that was just such an amazing surprise. And I could add to that, also for under $100, I bought a Prussian P8 locomotive to go with some cars I bought at the Berea train show back in 2023. And it also is a fantastic, and that's a much older model. That's about a 40-year-old model. And it just runs brilliantly. It's just a fantastic runner. I'm very thrilled with it. I've got all kinds of others that I didn't necessarily have expectations, like all the stuff I did with the stuff I got from Herb's collection, especially the ones that I converted to digital. But I didn't expect them to be bad. I figured they would be pretty good. I mean, Herb bought them, and Herb's not going to buy crap. So if you guys want to share your thoughts and ideas on sort of those happy surprises of locomotives. So the time where a locomotive really maybe you brought it back from death, or you didn't expect it to be remotely as good as it is. So it's one thing to buy somewhere, well, it was kind of a cheap model, and yeah, it runs well. We're talking about one that's like, whoa, that really, for the money I paid, this thing's a killer. And that's where I think my BR50 and maybe my P8 do take the cake. So I'll put the link in if a couple of people want to come on, although I may leave you in the basement for a few minutes while I read the chat. So let's see what we got. I'm getting shot of my 150 locos to let me buy maybe 25 locos with DCC sound. Oh, are you getting rid of an entire collection there? Or Japanese Kata locomotive, the EF210, and it runs like a Swiss watch. Okay, that's a good example. I'm just going through the comments here. Doesn't have DCC capability out of the box, but costs 65 pounds. So yeah, that'd be about $90 to $95. You've had it with Lima stuff. Your DB260 switcher, Eric, cool, great out of the box. less than a year and the light stopped working, it still runs, just no front. But if the light stopped working, I mean, does that make it a wonderful surprise? Or because last week we were doing the negatives. Last week we were doing the negatives. This week you're doing the positives. So I don't know if you're going negative or positive with that one. It still runs, just no front light. So last week was the negative. This week's the positive. LEDs are supposed to last forever. But in a lot of cases, it's the little diodes. It's the stuff on the circuit board, because that's what happened to me. I've had a motor die, but it's not the motor. It's the circuit board, not even the decoder. It's the circuit board. And I have another locomotive where the motor is dead, but everything else works on it. So let's see. The old O-scale trains that we turned into the Willy Wonka Candy Lane train, cleaned them up and ran great. Maybe not exact. No, that's exactly what we're talking about. Andy says, has to be the first for wow factor. A trying Hornby RS62 Carabelle circa 1970 with smoke. And, so it's one of those, you paid a penny and you got a fortune out of it. One of those little surprise pickup purchases where you didn't invest a lot in it. You weren't expecting much from it. And then it turns out to be a queen, a prince and a pauper, or a pauper and a prince story. So the old scale one, and that's it. If you refurbished it and redid something with it and it came out great, then no, that's fine, Eric. Because I mentioned both, so it was easy to catch up. But so that you answered last week's question and now this week's question. What was your best surprise? Your happiest surprise? Let's see. What is this? An Amtrak and a BNSF. I was amazed how nice they were compared to the Bachmann and the Walters I already owned. What company made them, Greg? All right. I've got some people in the basement. I'm going to bring one up first in the order they arrive. So first to the stage is my good friend, Randall Ellison. How you doing, Randall?
Hey Anthony, what's happening?
Not much. I'm just sitting here trying to kill an hour.
BNSF and their impeccable timing, a train just pulled up right when I logged in, so I got to run this crew to the hotel. So I'm going to have to mute myself. So I will be back in a few minutes.
All right. Well, we will see you when you come back. All right. Also in the basement, coming up next is our friend Chase. I see. Hello, Rick. Rick has just come in. Hi there, hello. Chase Railway Lines. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Good. Now, you're a younger guy, and I won't say you're new to the hobby, but you've been new to our world. Do you already have one that you got for, that you just picked up, didn't expect it to be much, and it turned out to be a superstar locomotive for you?
Not fully recent, no. I won't say fully recent.
Now, just anytime. Like you got.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You got one for free or a gift, and it didn't look like much, but boy, you ran it, and it's just like it's a dream come true. And that's what we're asking about. Things something you didn't expect it to be as good as it is.
Yep, definitely gotten that before.
So let's take this because Hot Dog Pilot, this is one of his new ones, the Dreyfus Hudson by MTH. I think that's his favorite right now. Do you have a particular favorite one that you own that's sort of your go-to locomotive? Chase?
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you were talking to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Do I have a locomotive that's my go-to?
Your favorite. What is your favorite locomotive that you currently own?
I'd have to go with my Mantua Sierra Railway number 3.
Okay.
It runs so good. It runs better than it's up there with some newer engines, actually, of how good it runs.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to bring up Mark from Xantech. And there we go. Eric from Bondon Eisenbahn. The Trix IC3 from eBay. Great price and it runs. Converted before we got it. Quiet and fast. So what did it convert to? Jewish, Church of England, Buddhist, Hindu? What did it convert, Eric? Oh, I'm sorry. So anyhow, we're going to bring up Mark from Xantec up on the screen, if it will come up. There it is. All right, Mark, you are now on camera. People can see and hear you.
Yeah.
What is your biggest, you mentioned the EF210 as the one that you didn't pay much and it turned out to be a superstar locomotive.
Oh yeah, this is the baby here.
Okay, let me embiggen you.
A bit loud on the picture.
Yeah, we're a little grainy there. That's a little better.
Yeah, it's not the best light for the webcam. Well, this is what I've got. I paid about 55, 65 quid for them from Japan. That's including the shipping.
Okay, well, that's a really good deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you probably have to back it up from the camera. The closer it gets, the harder your camera's fighting does.
Let me just turn my laptop 90 degrees.
But also, if you can, move it more towards you.
Yeah, I was going to do is spin my laptop around. So
okay. That's a little better. We're getting better. Getting a little better.
Unfortunately, I can't go back any further with the webcam, otherwise it'll fall off my laptop.
Back another 10 feet. Another 10 feet.
The loco any further towards me, because otherwise it'll take a death dive. Well, yeah, this is it. She's
well, I'm willing to take that chance. No, okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, twin pantograph on it. Inside it is quite a nice get the body off it. Come on, baby. Yeah, it just runs so brilliantly. I mean, that's what you get underneath it. A little circuit board.
Yep.
You can get from America drop-in decoders that may or may not work, have the EF210 range, but that's what you get out the box.
Yeah. So the key is you didn't pay a lot for it, so it turns out and runs like a dream, and it's very sharp.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I got to answer a question here. Greg says, if I wanted to join the folks like Chase and Randall talk, do I just need to get StreamYard? You don't even have to get StreamYard. You just have to click on the link I gave you.
You don't even have to sign up. It'll just let you in.
Yeah, you'll just pop in. Just click on that link and make sure it will ask you about your camera and your mic. But other than that, you'll be good to go.
You're actually going to see a couple layouts you've never seen before on my end.
Okay.
We're going to see layouts on your end. That's a weird place to put them. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're going to see layouts that you've never seen before.
Thank you. Chase, you better get used to it. I take anything and make it a naughty joke. You'll just have to deal with me. Hey, Greg, hello.
I unmuted myself for just a minute, Anthony. They're in there tying up, I guess. So.
That is if I don't have stall outs.
I'll say, and when I got this, where's my little mousy thingy? There's a couple of features that I have to add. The front here, the horn, and some of the details you have to come in a little box. You've got a little plate. Where is it now? Point it on there. There's a little plate there at each end where my laser is, and also there on the front there. You've got 4 different identities of locomotive for it.
Oh, very cool.
So it's not like to renumber it or to choose a number, you just put the plate in. It runs brilliantly. I mean, yeah, okay, you get a little bit of crud turning up in the pinwheels here.
Right.
But pop this plate off. It's quite easy to get to the contacts to clean out. So You don't need to do a full Roco series to strip the thing down. It runs brilliantly.
Yep. I
For
probably
the
should
price I paid for, I can't fault it.
because talking about favorites now, I have favorite trains in real life, and like my ICE 3 is one of my favorite trains I own. It's a fantastic runner. It runs my layout better than any train I own. So I love my ICE 3, the one, especially the one I got back from Herb. But if I'm just going to go favorite loco, it's the new guy right now. This guy, this is I won't even say it's my best running loco. It's not my best running, but I'm a shallow person. I go for looks, and it's still got to be able to do the job. But this is definitely a nice guy. And Joyce, my wife Joyce, she came up with a funny, crazy ideas. I have to send the other one back, and they want to send me a replacement. And
does that have two twin
they want to just trade me another Jägenderfer collection Nightjet for the one I'm sending back, and I'm trying to argue with them and say, no, I don't want to exchange it for the same thing. I don't even want my money back. I want you to put my money into my account with you guys, my user account with you guys. And then Joyce goes, well, how much money would that be? And I said, X amount of dollars. And she said, well, could you?
Am I still on StreamYard for you guys?
Yep.
Okay. I tab closed out, but the audio is still working apparently.
Yeah, we don't have video.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Is it working now? There we go.
You're in twice. I've got you in twice.
Kick one of them out.
Loco back on the layout.
Kick one out. Okay. Kick from studio. Yeah, I got to kick that one. Okay, but you're still on the one that's still on screen.
Here, kick both of them out.
What? You want me to kick you out? Okay. Just folks, you heard it. He asked me to kick him out. All right, get out. There you go. Okay, we'll see how that works. But anyhow, yeah, that new Joyce said, well, could you get some cars for it? And I'm like, well, of course I could. And she's like, all right, let's see if we can do that. So I might be getting the coaches for it. All right, Chase, you're back on. Are you there?
Okay. Is it not? It's not echoing anymore, is it?
I never heard you echoing, to be honest.
Hello? Oh, I heard myself echoing.
Ah, interesting. You might have just might have had your volume up just enough for you to hear it on two different, coming through two different sets of speakers.
Oh no, I turned off the sound firmly so I wouldn't get echo.
Okay, well, either way,
I don't know. I don't know what was wrong, but whatever it is, it's gone now. So
great. Yes, you are good to go. I saw your camera pop up temporarily. Hey, John Benicki's here. How are you? So we got.
The layout you have not seen is my other HO layout and my Lionel layout. Oh, and my G scale layout.
Okay. Wow, G scale.
Well, not really G scale. It's more of a floor layout, but it's still
right.
It's still there. You get the idea.
Yeah. Yep.
Here.
Trying to keep up with Artie, and so there we go. That's cool. Trains moving. That's what it's about.
Yep. Couple of stall outs a little bit. Yeah, what I'm planning to do is make this all a type of Bachmann style layout. Where'd it go? Right here. And I was going to add this a trolley line to go through.
That's cool.
But it's going to be a little bit difficult because I don't have very much space to work with.
Yeah, well, again, space, I think even more than money, we talk about how this is an expensive hobby, but there are ways around it.
Yeah, there are ways around the expensive side, but there's not much. Space is what?
No, I was going to let you go ahead and finish because you were going to say what I was going to say. So go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the thing with having space is that you can get around the money, but it's really hard to get around the space.
Exactly.
Because you could have a limited amount of space that you're using.
Yep. There's space is the hardest thing to deal with. And again, that's not true for everybody, just like money is not an issue for everybody. But I think more than
I think space. Yeah, I think space is more of an issue than actual money is. To me, it is.
Yeah. Oh, I understand. And until my kids moved out, I wasn't running trains before my kids moved out. All right, let me respond to a comment here. Von Don Eisenbahn. It's funny that you mentioned that. You ordered a motor and decoder. Is that going to be for a turnout or a locomotive? I'm assuming that's for a turnout because my friend Tom from Tom's Maryland Trains and Layout, he sent me a video earlier this week, and he said, Anthony, isn't this the company you just got your decoders from? And it was a headline of a YouTube video that said, I will never buy Decoder Work decoders again. And he had a picture of his Maryland locomotive with a Decoder Works decoder smoking. It was a video he put up. And that was
magical blues. The magical blue smoke.
Yep, the blue smoke. I will never. So, I said, well, I did only get basic decoders to put my turnouts. I would not buy a generic decoder to put in my trains. Basically, I buy like for like. If I have a Maryland train that needs a decoder, I buy a Maryland decoder. If it's Piko, I get the Piko decoder.
Yeah, I don't do much. I don't do much DCC.
No, I started the train hobby just a few years ago, and I jumped in digital. The train I bought was digital. My kids bought me the matching track and controller, which was digital for Christmas a few years ago, and the rest is history. And it's become an obsession. But yeah, I had a train set when I was 6 years old. Everybody that knows me and knows my channel has heard this story way too many times. I played with it a couple of times. We moved houses. I moved into a room where we had absolutely no space. So I never played with the train. The couple of times I did play with it, it just went in a circle. And to me, that was boring. ADD.
Yeah, you really need more track than just a circle.
Yeah, you needed something.
That's the fun part, is just making the track grow, quote unquote.
Let's see. Anthony, you should look at Stout Auctions. I have got several auction sites I look at, and the problem is a lot of the auction sites start wanting more information than I want to give them.
Oh.
And yeah, so
TMI.
Hey, Jeff, how are you? Jeff, I keep missing your live streams. Sadly you did one after I'd gone to bed, and you did another. We were out and about. I've caught a couple of your live streams, and I've missed a couple. Because it's nice to hear and see what you're doing. Hey, let's go over to Mark. Mark is either having breakfast or he's going to the bathroom. I just see the roll of toilet paper.
No, I'm putting.
I'm just kidding. I know. I see.
Yeah, I put a couple of decals on some of my TTA wagons.
Okay. Putting on decals. See, that is a job I won't do. Even as a kid, when I would build model planes and model ships, and then as a father, my kids would get toys that needed decals put on. I was the one who had to put them on, and I never got good at it. I could never get decals right.
Well, to give you an idea how big these things are.
I suck at decals.
I did it a couple times, and it works.
Yeah, you can see the paintbrush there.
You're a better man than I am because I can't do decals.
I've done it, but it is difficult. Well, it's not that difficult, but it's a little annoying
Yeah,
trying to get them on straight.
Get the water just right, peel it off just right, get it in place, try to move it in place. I'll rip it in half, or I'll get it and think it's fine. And I didn't even know, of course, this is going back 40 years. And, now there's the stuff you can put on that kind of holds it into place, but it would slip when I wasn't looking and then dry on that spot. Eric says 1 out of 500 on straight. Okay, so at least
come back.
One out of 500.
1 out of 500. So I'm not alone in that. Yeah, I've sucked at them, and I learned to paint because I couldn't do decals. Except now I can't paint. If I try to paint, and I might be trying to do Da Vinci, but by the time I'm done, I've done Salvador Dali. My hands shake so bad when I'm trying to paint or solder. It's a misery.
Well, the worst one is when you go to solder, you accidentally go to pick up the soldering iron like a ballpoint pen. You soon drop it.
No, I have not done that. The one thing I do, I'm sure most
people. Piece of advice, Ant, don't.
Yeah. I learned at a very young age, hot and bad. But when I'm soldering and it's a small area, especially what I call micro soldering, when you're soldering circuits and that, a couple of times I've got just a very narrow window and I'm trying to hold, because my shaky hands, I'm trying to hold the soldering pen, tight and the wire tight, and I will nail the top of my finger holding the wire because my hand will shake, and all of a sudden I'll go, whoa, and yeah. You learn to do decals because you can't paint. I can't even be bothered to fit Roco Vectron wipers on. Here's another topic to throw out at people. If you buy a new Loco, I have never fitted any of the extra parts. They're still in the bags. All the extra stuff, even whether you should add it or don't, like with Miracle, usually it's just, if you want to add these things, here they are. Roco, in a lot of ways, is kind of like that too. I don't add. They're all in the bags. My Loco is the way it is out of the package. I do not add any of the extra bits and bobs. I leave them in their bag. Because otherwise I would lose them.
Optional.
with one codicil to that point, which is my first several Locos, I threw them all into one bag. And now I don't know which bag of extra parts went to which Loco.
Anthony, Loco that you showed with that rather nice tasty livery on it.
I'm just going to correct you there for 1 second. That stunningly beautiful livery.
Do you have to? Has it got both couplings on both ends, or is it just? Because there's a very, very trend right now with Blackman, Hornby, and Curiousco. Is that you get both couplings, but only one is actually attached to the locomotive.
Yeah, this comes with both couplings added on. I get some Locos that don't have the couplings added on. It also comes with the spare coupling, so you can connect this to a rail jet, the dummy coupler. So yeah, you can add this to a rail jet because rail jets have pin connecting couplers. Let's try to say that 3 times fast.
Try to say what 3 times fast?
Oh, easy. It's easy. I'm mocking myself. Pin connection couplers. They're like computer
pin connection couplers.
Yeah. Pin connection couplers, pin connection couplers. Okay, so anyhow, let's get me off the screen. And Randall, were you about to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that was a good looking engine. Just to tell you, probably one of the first time I was really ever kind of blown away by an engine. And I know people have certain opinions about this company now, but when I first bought a Scale Trains locomotive, their Rivet Counter ET44s, the first one I got of those, I was blown away by how the engine looked, but more so by how it performed. Because that thing would just easily outpull anything I ever owned before it. So I probably told this story 100 times by now, but we put 60 cars behind the Kansas City Southern one, and it went around the layout pulling it. So
that could be a conversation piece too. Highest number of cars you've ever pulled, or longest train by foot or meter, yard or meter.
The funniest story though was with the first engine I bought, the first Rivet Counter engine I bought from him. I took that engine to the Christmas display, and that was 2019, I think, was when I took it up there, because it was right after I got the Norfolk Southern one. That was actually the second Rivet Counter engine I bought from. But I took the BNSF one I bought before it up there, and somebody just texted me. But anyway, Color 10 News, a local CBS station, was up there filming the display. Well, right after they had left, we were in the process of building a super train on the layout. Now, this is with the old layout. It's not the layout that you see in the live streams and the videos I do from the club display.
Okay.
This was a layout that was built before that one.
Okay.
But we put that engine on there, and I can't remember exactly how many cars I had it, but the front car right behind the engine was one of the Athearn cars with the McHenry couplers on it.
No.
And
Okay, there we go.
We tightened the what they call tighten the chain on the train. And when it did, the locomotive literally ripped the knuckle coupler plumb off the freight car.
Wow.
So I was standing there next to the O-scale layout that they had at the time, and it sounded like a gunshot going off in the museum.
That's would be a crazy experience. All right, I got a couple of questions and a couple of greetings to get to real quick. I gotta embiggen myself here. Artie, you asked, is the power plug? Actually, this does not come with the power plug. You can see it's just a standard A coupler, known as the Roco universal coupler, on both ends. But they include the dummy plug, which you put in place of one of those universal couplers, and then this allows you to connect it to the railjet pin. This allows you to connect it to the railjet pin. You don't control the railjet from it, but it's there. Okay, and then let's see. Steve PSAP came in. Hey, Steve 87, how are you? And then I saw the Model Railway show, or the Model Railroad show is here, which is interesting because this is kind of a Model Railroad show, but this is Wacky Weekend Light.
You said power plug.
So welcome in, welcome in.
Is that what I'm thinking? It's like a conductive coupler?
Yeah. Roco's Railjets, Merklin's and Trix's ICE3s, Pico's higher end ICE3s and ICE4s all have what we call a pin connector coupling. If the current flows through it, but it's like a computer pin connecting to a slot on a motherboard or a diode, or not a diode.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit like what's on my 158 then by Batman.
So they have a very specific type of coupling. And with Roco, they're proprietary. In other words, there is usually a specific loco design to go with it. And some locos, like you can buy a Roco railjet from 2 years ago and it has the pin coupler, and you can buy a railjet from 2 years before that, so 4 years ago. And if you connect that railjet to the locomotive, there is a chance that the polarities between the locomotive and the pins in the car are reversed. And you either have to reverse the wiring in the loco, reverse the wiring in the car, or you use the dummy coupler, the blank, if you want to call it that. But yeah, it's now Meriklin also has a type of coupler, which is called a current conducting coupler, besides their pin cushion, which is literally just a coupler like this, except it has a copper tab in it that connects to a copper plate on the bottom of the loco or the passenger car. And then it also has a copper tongue in the coupler. Do I have one that's within reach? Well, yeah, right here. Pardon me. Pardon me. Okay, let's see if I can get this in here. If I show it this way, there's the coupler. Okay, there's the coupler right there. And if I turn it upside down, you can see there's a copper tongue, which connects to a copper plate inside there, which connects to the copper plate you see there. And then the next car in line also has that copper tongue with, and so it goes along. And so there's a decoder in this that controls the lights, the signs, tail lights, direction, and everything on the passenger cars. The loco is on a separate circuit. It does not have a current conducting coupler to this. So you could use different locos with this. Oh, wow. Unlike an ICE or a Roco railjet where you've really got to be careful. But yeah,
it's going to take these two wagons into the other room to.
Okay, just a second. Let me put you up on screen.
Hey, Anthony, I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom.
Okay, thanks for sharing. Tell me plugs that means Artie would be able to use it. Oh. Yeah, and 8180. Could you, if you put too many cars behind, you really shouldn't it. You shouldn't if you put too many wagons behind it, because even on the Roco railjets, the Steuerwagen also has a decoder in it that relays information from the locomotive. So in that case, the locomotive does control everything. It tells the decoder in the Steuerwagen what to do. Turn the lights on, dim the lights, blah, blah, blah. But you should be able to add a few cars to it. It shouldn't, because it's in the end, it's getting its power from the track and not.
A dirty track is not fun.
No, I think we all can say what our least favorite jobs.
Because this locomotive keeps stalling.
What kind of dog do you have, Chase?
Great Pyrenees. I know, you can probably hear it.
No, I hear it. I'm not. That's not a complaint. I hear the dog, so I like to. Oh, what kind of dog? Yeah, because I'll talk to the dog. Hey, boy, how you doing? Who's a good boy?
I'm just trying to run in this engine so it stops cutting out.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's right. Dirk has to be nice, Dart Easy, send you a 46 class. I'm going to be sending a lot of trains out in the mail, locomotives out in the mail. I've got a couple of things I'm going to send to my friend Christopher over in the UK. I got to send one locomotive back to Germany, and I've got another locomotive I'm going to send to a friend in the US. I like to pay it forward. I've got a couple locomotives people have given me for free that I'm blown away. This Blue Tiger I've got is absolutely brilliant. I got a rail pool, class 186 from not Dirk. Dirk gave me the Blue Tiger. So Andy 81E gave me the rail pool. I hope I didn't. It went one way or the other. I like to pay it forward. No, I don't have friends. I don't have friends, Attila. I have no friends. I do that to save people's lives. I refuse to have friends because every time I'm good friends with somebody, they die. So I just... There are people I know, or I'll refer to them as YouTube friends. Yeah, no, Dirk, I am so lucky that because it was more than just an awesome loco. It totally opened my mind to giving certain companies a chance because I had always heard, I was told to avoid Mahano like the plague, and yet one of my best heavy haulers is that Mahano, that Blue Tiger. Roco and Märklin could not make a better version of it, and other companies have made versions of it, obviously, but they might be as good, but that thing is. I've got the lights working in it. It's a fantastic hauler, and it's totally reliable. One of these days, what I want to do is try to set up a long freight train. Like normally, I have my container wagons as one train, and then I have a mixed freight of tankers and tarpaulin cars and box cars or wagons, whatever. I don't have a ore hopper train. I've got like 2 ore cars, and one is like a pre-World War II or right after that Andy from March West Junction gave me right here. This is from the York Model Railway Museum. That's a coal wagon. That's a coal wagon. And then I got 1 coal hopper in the Herb collection. So that is something it might be my last freight purchase. Is I'd like to get and I've still got a bunch of freight cars I've got to build that were given to me by Mark of Model Railway Fantasia. But yeah, I need. Wow!
Everything okay?
Mark just had oopsie.
An oopsie.
An oopsie.
Yeah, it's all good, I think.
You have the DC version of it. Yeah. You got it here live on camera, ladies and gentlemen. We bring it to you.
Guarantee if something's going to F up, it's going to F up live on camera.
The UK is currently blacked out. So yeah, disaster live on camera. Hey, we bring it to you. This is reality TV, my friends. Reality TV.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually get a train here on camera here in a little bit.
Oh, well, there you go. We could do some rail fanning.
So there's supposed to be another coal load coming down off the hill. So.
A coal load. All right. Okay. So Mark is now getting resituated.
Yeah, I've got 5 more wagons to do.
There were 6, but unfortunately one didn't make that accident. Hey,
No,
Brad,
no,
how are you? How are you? Welcome in.
Nah, they all survived.
What stickers are you putting? What are the stickers saying? Are you labeling them with a?
What are they? They are hazmat data plates.
Oh, okay, okay.
And
so a whole bunch of stickers on each car, right?
I'm only putting 4 on.
Okay.
Just the wagon data plate, which says TTA and gives basically like the weights of the wagons and the likes, and the hazmat plate that says flammable liquid and it's got the UN number.
That would be an exceptionally interesting explanation of how that would have occurred, Artie, or Attila. I'm sorry, names with A, I confuse them. Hey, welcome, Eisenbard Kingdom, Davey Brunel. How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, so you are working on these and these are N scale tankers. So we were talking about putting decals on. You're just making it more fun by making it N scale stick decals or decals, as some say.
To give you an idea how small these decals are, they're actually smaller than the bloody couplings. For those of you who, this might be up Randall's Street, UN number is 1270. Which I think is now it's possibly disused.
All right, now I need to put out a challenge. Who's going to do Z scale? Come on, somebody do Z scale decals. How far away are we?
Bollocks.
We are several states away. For me and Randall, for me to go visit Randall, I'd have to drive through the western half of Ohio, all of Indiana, and all of Illinois. And if I got down to Cairo, Illinois, or would that be too far south? No, because Cairo, Illinois isn't that far north of Memphis. But if I got down to Cairo, Illinois, I wouldn't be too far from.
Until I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't cause any earthquakes this go around.
No, I think you were still outside your car. Mark had an accident with his bowl of water and everything that he's using for his decals, and it was just badly timed that right as it happened, you were coming back out of the bathroom. So
I got you.
Attila was trying to put it all together. No worries, Jeff. Thanks for being with us and coming back. Appreciate it. Do they even make?
And by the way, hot dog pallet.
I do. I cannot prove it by hand. My company, the company that I worship, Miraklin, invented Z scale. There's an argument as to whether they invented HO because they also invented 1 scale and G scale. And then they went the opposite way. And yeah, but let's see. Yeah. So anyhow, to get to you, Cairo is the most southwestern tip of Illinois. Then I'd have to go down to Memphis. And then
I'm closer to St. Louis.
I would have to cross over into Arkansas. So that's the trip. Ohio to Indiana to Illinois to Tennessee, Missouri, and then into Arkansas.
Yeah, you would actually pass pretty close to me.
We'll wave. Where are you, Chase?
Yeah, you'll go down by the Branson area of Missouri.
Oh, you're in Branson.
Oh, dang, you're close.
Oh my God, he's in Branson.
Well, no, I'm near St. Louis, but I go to Branson pretty often.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant you lived in Branson.
No, I want to live in Branson though.
Hot dog pallet, Andy. Yeah, that truck belongs to one of the engineers that works here.
Meet all the famous has-been performers. No, I'm sorry, that was rude of me to say. That was rude. I apologize. Please don't sue me. Yeah, actually, Attila, that's a bit of a there's a story I can't talk about live on air regarding my joy of traveling south of the Ohio River. To be honest, my joy of traveling south of Dayton. Although I used to go to Joyce and I, when we were young, would go to Cincinnati all the time because we both loved baseball, and we would go to Cincinnati to watch the Reds play because I was a huge Cincinnati Reds fan, along with the Cleveland then Indians, now Guardians. But yeah, we'd go spend a weekend and watch the Reds play. Biggest regret I ever have is Joyce and I had the day off. And I tried to talk her into, because we were both in college, and I tried to talk her into skipping school, or was it work? And let's go watch the Reds play. And it was the night Tom Browning threw a perfect game no-hitter, which means nothing unless you know baseball.
I'm not into sports.
That's okay. That is okay. You do not. We don't judge by sports or not sports. We judge by character. Are you a good person or not?
What's funny is that I'm not into sports, but I do have a sports themed train.
Oh, what's the theme?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Ah, okay.
By the Bradford Exchange.
Oh, cool. Because
I've got a sports.
St. Louis Cardinals meant football and baseball.
Yeah, I did not buy it directly from Bradford Exchange, though. I did not do that.
No, that would probably be pricey.
No, I bought it. It came with an F unit, a B unit, and 3 passenger cars, and a full loop of track with 2 switches and 2 bumpers and a controller, all for $40.
Oh, that's a heck of a deal.
Yeah,
I know. I wasn't tempted at first, and then I was like, okay, never mind. That's a good deal.
Hey, Model Railroad Show.
I've got one of those Bradford Exchange sets.
I'm sorry, we've been watching Mark work, but Model Railroad Show. My son-in-law, my oldest daughter's husband, born and raised in the New Jersey suburbs of Philadelphia. He is a huge Phillies fan. We do root for the Eagles in honor of him, although I am a Cleveland Browns fan in the NFL, and but he is Phillies. And one of the things we like to do for him, although we haven't done it, but usually for Christmas or for Easter or for his birthday, we will buy him tickets to see the Philadelphia Flyers, the hockey team, when they come either to Columbus or to Detroit to play the Red Wings or the Blue Jackets, and we'd buy him tickets, which, especially for the Red Wings, are a little bit harder to get good seats. But yeah, so and I've always appreciated the Eagles. I go back even before crap, my brain just froze. Ron Jaworski in the 1980, because I was rooting for them in the 80s Super Bowl when they lost to the Raiders. But I go back. I remember Norv Van Brocklin as their quarterback. You're still trying to find a gondola for Engage. You live in Jerseydelphia. Yeah. It was funny. Years ago, I was telling that my son-in-law was from the Philadelphia area, and I was getting tested like, oh yeah, well, what's his favorite Philly cheesesteak place? And of course, everybody knows the two. Well, I shouldn't say everybody, but most people that think about Philly, they name the 2 places that are across the corner. And my son-in-law Chris, he said, nobody from Philly goes to those places. That's the tourist places. And then he names the best. I was texting him because I was live on a chat, and so he types back, and I forget the name of the place, but it's a place in South Philly. And when I named the place that he says that's the cheesesteak place, all the guy from Philly could do is say, "All right, your son-in-law is from Philly." It's like he had to name. It's like, I've never had their cheesesteak there because I always get their chicken Parmesan sandwich from there or whatever it was. And so it was kind of funny. Yeah, Pat's and Geno's, right. I've never had either. I would try both and then go to other places. I have not been to Philly. I have not been to Philadelphia. I have been outside of Philadelphia, but I've never been to Philadelphia. You had your first Popeye's chicken. Well, it's interesting that it's over there because I find that American food chains that go overseas rarely taste like they do here in America. Like if you go to Burger King in Germany, it does not taste like Burger King in America. And in some cases, it tastes better. Same thing. McDonald's tastes better in Europe than it does here. But other things just do not taste this. And by the way, I get into trouble with this. Because I try to be pro-American in some things, many things. I do try to love my country, but I'm just not one of those people that my country's better than your country. But if there's 3 things America needs to catch up on, well, there's a lot of things, but we're not going to talk politics. But if there's a few things food-wise America can catch up on, French fries. Oh my God, French fries in the UK, Germany, and France are better than any fries I've ever had anywhere in the United States. Ice cream, especially Italian gelato ice cream over in Europe, is better than any ice cream you can get in the United States. Oh my goodness. It is something else over there.
And I wonder if that's down to merely food regulation.
Quite possibly. Germany definitely has stricter laws about what is considered food and how you can serve it.
Well,
and I'm not a healthy eater. I am not a healthy eater. I am the joke I make, so please understand this is a joke. It is not making fun of any group of people. I call myself a reconformed Hindu because I worship the cow. The cow is sacred to me because everything I eat comes from the cow. Beef, steaks, ice cream, cheese, milk to make your...
I'm going to switch over to another device because my phone is about to die.
Well, we'll wish it well and hope it gets...
It's the sand train.
What's that?
There's a train pulling in. It's the unit sand train goes to slow, and that's different. So...
It is I
was told there's supposed to be another PAM load coming in. There it is.
Yeah, the deep dish.
I hope you guys didn't hear that ad that showed up.
No, we were good.
Okay. I didn't want you to
Chicago.
I didn't want you to get struck down for copyright or something.
It would not happen. It would not happen.
Okay.
You hear this?
I don't know. I was just making sure. I know how strict it's being nowadays.
Well, actually, that's just it. That's really not the case. You hear people talking about, oh, I'll get a copyright strike. Usually, you'll get a copyright claim, and there's a big copyright claim.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. Right. So you'll get a claim, but not usually. Can you repost the stream link, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I can't find it now.
Yeah, I probably should repost it a bit more, but ask and I shall receive.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to swap over. Yes, I want to leave YouTube.
Model Railway Show, that is why I called it a reformed or deformed Hindu. We both worship the cow. We just have different ways of worshiping the cow. It is sacred to me too, but it's also bloody delicious.
You'll probably hear an echo for a second.
No problem. I don't know if that's true in the UK. That wasn't true in the United States. The firm that got busted for horse meat and donkeys, it was doing both, was
they got busted because they were flogging it off as beef.
Yeah, they were saying it was 100% beef, but they were using horse meat. It was oh God, nope. It wasn't. It's the chain that is now also owned by Hardee's. Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box. It was Jack in the Box. They got busted for it. Hey, if anyone wants to be live with you, let you know. I'm sorry, Jeff. I read that for a second as live with me.
Huh?
I was like, Jeff, hey, if anyone wants to live with me, let me know.
There we go. Hello.
Okay, you know what's we got all the different dating sites.
Locos. Randall, what are they?
We got all the different dating sites. Should we have a train enthusiast matchmaking dating site?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me
we can
now?
hear you. Five by
Yes, we
five.
can hear you, Chase.
Okay. You guys just didn't say anything.
I'm sorry, I was still babbling on my joke. You'll have to get used to that. If I've
Oh,
got
okay.
a joke, if I've got a joke rolling, it just goes.
I don't have an all clear unless someone says something. That's why
Gotcha.
I asked again.
Yeah, Randall, what are those two locos parked up there?
So the lead motor is an SD70 and then the other one that's behind this engine is a ES44AC. It's rare to see an ace on this train, but it does happen. This train, this train that's here now, goes to a sand plant in Sloan, Arkansas, which is technically Black Rock. But
Hey, Mark, adjust your camera a bit. We're getting a good shot of your lap.
Really? I don't see a lap.
Well, I just took it off.
Oh, okay.
But
We're looking
yeah,
at-
said we were
that,
seeing his lap or something.
I'm kind of working here. I've got my stuff there, which is kind of why it's angled here.
yeah, this train here, it operates with a total of, it'll operate anywhere with 4 to 5 units on it.
And what the hell are those wheels on that Chevy Silverado?
All I see is a BNSF locomotive.
That belongs to one of the guys that works here at Thayer. Don't ask me why he has wheels like that.
He wants to be
Oh,
taken
wait.
out.
I'm sorry, people.
Wait, what's
Those
with-
locomotives
Wait, what's
out
with
the
those
top
wheels
there.
on that truck right there?
That's what everybody's asking. Look,
Those
guy-
wheels those
I
are
just
ugly
gotta say
wheels.
this.
I do
The
not like
guy
those
bought
wheels.
a Chevy. That's your answer. He bought a Chevy. People who buy Chevys will do stuff like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Those wheels look ugly. I don't like those.
It wouldn't be so bad.
Well, they're
if
not
one
exactly
of
my
the-
favorite type of wheels either.
It wouldn't be bad
yeah,
if the wheels didn't look way too low.
As they say, the kids like to be hip around here.
Yeah.
Those wheels look way too low from the actual truck frame.
Oh, it's low profile tires.
Yeah, on a 4x4 like that, you want.
Well,
It's
why are
four
they?
wheel-
Well, why are the
four-wheel drive.
wheels
I'm almost
not in the
positive
wheel
it is.
well?
All right, time out. We got 5 people talking at the same time,
Yeah, you want big.
which is
chunky
weird because we
tires.
only got 4 people on cameras.
Right, I'm gonna take this wagon into the other
The wheel
room.
isn't even in the wheel well.
Seal on the varnish.
Okay, that's better.
Okay, you're gonna go put the varnish on it. Okay. Yeah, that's not 4x4 in that thing. Thank you, JD.
Those wheels look
I
very
wasn't
weird.
going to correct anybody. Just says Andy here called it a Jeep, and I was going to say, well, technically that's not a Jeep because Jeeps are made here in my hometown, Toledo, Ohio. Although
Ohio.
some are made in Wisconsin and
Oh,
some are made in Austria.
Andy 81E. Yes, the
Baltimore
potholes are
and
numerous
Ohio.
around this part.
It's illegal to have, not in America. That'd be interfering with my rights.
America.
Hang on, I got a call coming in.
Okay.
Oh,
Would you like
well,
me to
hey.
answer it for you, Randall?
yeah, give me just a second, Anthony. I gotta check something here.
Yeah,
I
this is Randall. What can
I
I
was
do
just
for you?
about to pull something up through my camera.
Huh.
Oh, hold on.
You're in a black hole.
Hold on.
We have image. We have wire. We have trains. We have a train sighting, ladies and gentlemen. We have trains.
This is my
Cotton Derby trains.
This is my floor O gauge setup.
Hang on. Let's enlarge. Embiggen.
I need to.
Got some NASCAR cars going there.
Yep. Is it? This controller has 4 levers, so sometimes I forget which one is which.
The Lowe's 48. I remember when it was a Dodge. All right. Good night, Eric. Need to go get the firstborn in his truck. Okay.
Okay, sorry about that, Anthony.
No worries.
What happened was my phone is trying to connect with every single van that operates here, so it's kicked me off the Bluetooth, so now I can barely hear what you're saying. So,
oh no, your phone apparently is desperate for a friend. Will you connect with me?
Yeah.
Will you connect with me?
I don't know why it does this, but it tries to connect. If somebody jumps in a van and it's listed on my phone, it'll try to connect with it. It tries to connect with every van that fires up and runs.
Yeah, my phone tries to connect with every damn TV in my house and in the neighbors' houses. Oh, that's a cool NASCAR locomotive too.
Oh,
it's
that's
kind of
cool
hard to get it. It's kind of hard to get it all on screen at once.
Oh yeah, it's tough. You got a great head for trains. A couple of weeks ago. Oh, see, there's the old number 9 that used to be a Dodge.
Yep.
Was Casey? No, Casey Kane wasn't the 9, was he?
Right.
Casey Kane the 9 or the 19? I can't remember.
Once that varnish has dried off, I will spray it with the matte varnish.
Matt Varnish, I knew that guy. We went to school together.
I like the view from down here.
Oh yeah, we've talked about in the past on different live streams, Chase. Favorite views on live streams of trains, and some people talk about they love them down close like that.
Yeah, like this. Here, what if I get? Here, let me get closer.
If you're gonna put a high level view,
there we go.
Do it from as if it's like from an overpass.
Hold on, I want to see how this.
Once again, we're getting a great shot of your crotch.
Well, let me move the bloody webcam then.
I don't know. You got to look at what we're seeing.
An overpass like this.
Yeah, as if it's on like a bridge. Let me just get a link up. Bear in mind, I need to get to my channel.
I like it down low the most.
Yeah, down low is much better. It gives it more of a realistic view.
Yeah.
Now, Attila, see, here's the problem. I was just in an earlier live stream today where they were talking about cross-dressing and stuff like that. And yet here you are, you, Artie, and a couple of other people are constantly trying to, and Jean Ricard does it too. You guys, I'm a little worried. Maybe I shouldn't come and visit you in Australia. Maybe I shouldn't have visited Artie, or because you guys are constantly trying to make me a cross-dresser, which I'm not. I don't play on that side of the street. But yeah, it's a little worrisome that you guys are constantly trying to do that.
I'll say, Chase, I've just put a link up in the main chat of one of my high levels things where you can just see the ground just going away.
It is disturbing, Andy. It makes me nervous.
Now that's old style 3-rail chase.
Yes, it is.
And would your marking stuff actually run safely on that?
No, my Miracle
No,
stuff, first of all, because that is O scale.
Yeah, this is O gauge.
Oh, right.
And Miracle doesn't do O scale. But
Yeah.
also the way the track is configured on that third rail would not work. If you reduced it to HO scale, it wouldn't work.
And also, this stuff is AC powered, not DC.
Yeah, well, my Miracle stuff is AC. My stuff is 3-rail. It's just HO. But yeah, it's 3-rail and AC we use. Although technically there was some stuff made in the UK that was 3-rail and still DC. Miracle is 3-rail AC, like Lionel. It's just HO instead of O.
Yeah, some of y'all won't be trying.
Attila, I will leave you as the expert on what is metrosexual, okay? I'll let you be the expert on that.
Metrosexual, does that mean getting into the act on the subway?
But yeah, when we, one of the things, of course, I have 16 different cameras on my layout.
Why do the lights look pink?
On my multi-view, I do 13. I mean, I technically could pull it up now, but it would be so small you all would go blind.
What's going on with those lights there, the crossing lights? Should be alternately flashing one then the other.
Yeah, but the way I have it set up, it can't do that. There's that little copper strip on the rails, and when the train runs over it.
So you're all about to disappear for a second. But yeah, so talk about angles. So as you can see now up here, I actually have 12 cameras on this screen.
Number 4 looks good.
And again, it's because I personally have different views I want. So you got like a long, number 1 is a long, you can see it coming from a long way up, but it's also a close up. Number 2 is a slightly up angled close up but again, you got the long view coming around the corner. 3 is the whole table view on the left-hand side of my layout. 4 is a tight close up as they're running by, it's ground level. 5, which is below me here, is another just slightly up above, like you're on a footbridge going over. And so it's a relatively close. But again, you also get the distance shots. 6 below it is what I call my 11-lane shot. Of course, it's been adjusted because I was showing you the grass work I did. And then just the random shots. And then number 9 gives you the widest expanse of but I like close-ups and distance shots. And I just, the thing is, I had 5 cameras before I ever started live streaming because I wasn't doing multiple cameras for live streaming. I saw a live stream where he had 3 cameras and I thought, wow, that gives you angles. And so I went out and got 3 webcams and I added them to my computer just so I could look at my I could look at my trains from angles I couldn't normally see them. And that's why I had all these cameras. But once I started live streaming and people responded to all the different camera views, I got addicted to it. It really was an addiction. I just kept adding cameras. How many cameras could I add? And I have 16 cameras plus 2 tablets, a smartphone, and a GoPro. So I'm around 21 different video devices that I can load into my OBS live stream broadcast. Yeah, normally there are 6 trains running, exactly 6. The funny thing is,
getting ready to pull out.
Yes. What?
No, I said they were getting ready to pull out.
Okay. The last few weeks, I've had some people new to my live stream, and they would look at one. Let me see, which camera was it? I think it was this cam. And they would see the white train here. They would see my ICE4, my short ICE4, and they would go, "Hey, your train's not moving." It's like, no, that one's parked. All right, let's watch. We're gonna watch Randall train leaving, which is gonna surprise him because he's supposed to be on that train.
Your train's not moving. No, it's parked. How many times has that happened before?
Say again.
What?
Wait, come back! I'm supposed to be driving that train. If you're not, who is? Well, there was some 85-year-old woman got up there.
How many wagons on that?
I'm 85 years old and I'm gonna go out in style.
What was you asking, Zantag?
How many cars are on that train?
Let's call it anywhere from 90 to 100 cars.
No.
But this train's it's not particularly long. It's only about, they can fit this train in the yard.
100 wagons?
So, yeah, it's got 100 hoppers on it. Anywhere from 90 to 100 hoppers. It varies at times. But
Hey,
generally, the train's only about 40.
He's got 100 hoppers. That's a train full of kangaroos.
About what?
Yeah.
100 ton of
Oh,
wagons?
they're flying now.
Yeah, they are moving kind of quick there.
Probably got to be like 90,000 tons on that train all behind those locomotives.
Yeah, this train's only about, generally it only tops out in length at about 4,800 to 5,000 feet at most. But they're really heavy trains. They're almost 10,000 tons when they're loaded. They're over 10,000 tons when they're loaded. So,
Has anybody else ever messed with one scale with more scales instead of just sticking to one?
I used to do double O as a kid.
I kind of switch.
Gauge.
I kind of switch between a lot of scales.
Go ahead, Chase. Go ahead.
I like switching between a bunch of scales.
There are quite a few people I know that do multiple scales.
Yeah,
in fact,
I do.
Got Jeff was in here earlier. If you read Jeff's title, he does 3 scales. He's got N, H, O, and O like you do.
That's what I do. And
Yeah.
I do a little bit of G.
A little bit of G. Okay. The original G. Word.
Yeah. Not the battery powered G, like
Right.
actual G.
All right. John Benicki says, got a new job, Anthony. Now I can't watch your show on Fridays. They expect me to work. New job, same place, or new job? I tried to run 1-to-1 scale, but the police told me to get out of the cab, and I've never been able to do it again. Hey, PKW Metalworks is here. Bob, how are you?
That's cool. But that train there that just left, it holds a very special kind of sand. There's only 4 places like it in the world, is what I was told. And
Hang on,
Sloan is
Jason,
one of them.
something off. Randall, I got to interrupt you there just for a second. Chase.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Chase! There we go. Oh, we're back. He's doing the St. Louis Cardinals train. That is cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's neat.
I admired the Cardinals all the way back.
This and this full loop of track was only $40.
That is awesome. That is a great deal.
Yep. It was at a flea market.
Man, then you hate
That's a steal, my friend.
That's a steal.
That is a steal.
That is such a good deal. That is such a good deal. Even a Kansas City Royal fan would buy it just so he could blow it up.
I questioned it at first, and then all of a sudden, when I saw because I only saw the track at first, and then they showed me the train, I was like, okay, never mind, I'm buying it.
Wow, new job. So totally new workplace, moved to a new office and everything. Wow. Well, hopefully it's a happier job. I don't know if your other job was unhappy. Just hope that this one's good.
And the passenger cars do have lights in them, but they're very dim.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I've got a sports themed train, but it's a NASCAR themed train. It's a Dale Earnhardt Senior set.
Is it by Bradford Exchange?
Hot Dog Pilot
so.
Andy, you better be saying that in Mrs. Slocum's voice.
I do have a couple other Bradford Exchange. I have most of the Budweiser train collection.
Captain Peacock, if I'm not home by 6 o'clock, my pussy gets quite upset.
And speaking of NASCAR, Anthony, since you I don't know if you saw my response to you, but Fredo did receive another. Fredo did receive another package from Cahat Automotive Enterprises. He was not impressed.
No, but the next tarantula will be alive.
Oh, this one was alive.
Don't know about sports scenes, but I have got a skateboard.
I'm trying to keep up with all the cameras moving around. It's not even my live stream. My cameras. Okay, sorry, time for a gratuitous. Check out my new Railjet look time again. It's only about the 4th time I put it up this live stream, but hey, the new toy.
That looks cool. I like that one.
It is it's gorgeous. It's not quite as gorgeous. If I were grading the Jäger, just by looks alone, the Jäger collection is a 100 and this is a 98.
And how well does it run? That's the question.
It runs very well, whereas the Jäger collection version is dead. It blew its motor. It was making bad sounds from the minute I began running it in, and it just never got better. I worked on it a bit after my live stream where I released the video, asked people for some ideas, looked into their ideas, and I was running it, and I thought maybe the sound was a little better, and then it went over a point and poof. Not even a poof, just dead. And the motor was gone. The lights still light up, the sound function works, but the motor was just gone.
Oh dear, that's not good. And how old's that unit?
Well, this one is new to me, but this was released in 2021. This is by a company called Roco. Yeah. Now there are lots of companies that make 3-rail HO trains, and they all make them specifically for American. Even the American company MTH on their boxes would say 3-rail trains for the American system. MTH made some of their locomotives in 3-rail. And that's because some of the guys that worked at MTH were 3-rail enthusiasts, and they talked MTH into releasing some that it wouldn't take much to do it, but it had the 3-rail ski. But there's what we call the big 3 in the 3-rail. There's American, Roco, and Piko. Those are the big 3.
There, Chase.
And this Piko is Piko as opposed to the British Piko, Peco. Anyhow, those are the big 3. But then there are plenties of others. There's Brava is a big company that makes a lot of stuff. Jäger Collection is a small company that makes some 3-rail. Usually they make a 3-rail version of everything they release. There's a very expensive company out of Switzerland called Hag, H-A-G. And then there's anybody that releases trains in Europe will release a 3-rail version, because in Germany alone, more people are 3-rail than 2-rail. And 3-rail, American is the largest seller of trains in Europe. They used to be in the world, but I think with all the companies Hornby's acquired in the last few years, I think Hornby, if you include all its subsidiary names, might be bigger than American now. But American, Märklin is so dominant that in Sweden, there is a guy called Marklin of Sweden who is a huge YouTube channel. And he does do Märklin trains. But a lot of people read his channel as Märklin of Sweden, like he's talking about Märklin trains. He's not. Märklin is the Swedish word for model railway. If you were saying, hey, how do you say model train? How do you say model trains in Swedish? Märklin. The name of the company is the Swedish word for model trains. They were so dominant that in Sweden, the word for model train is the name of the company, Märklin.
It's like over here, if you have a vacuum cleaner, whether it be Electrolux, a Dyson, it's a Hoover.
Right, no matter who makes it. Yeah, we do the same thing. For example, anytime you have an injury and you need a bandage, nobody says bandage, we say Band-Aid, which is an individual company.
Yeah, we say Band-Aid.
Hey, Joyce, come and give a cameo real quick.
Hello, Joyce.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Joyce.
Hey,
It's
Randall.
It's Randall, Mark, and Chase are on.
So, hey, Randall, Mark, Chase.
And then we got all kinds of people. And me. Yeah, I'm here.
Joyce, are you feeling any better?
Slowly. Very slowly.
Anthony's just like, I'm here.
So, Andy.
We kind of stole your show again.
Yeah.
No, nobody steals my show.
Okay.
I happily
Hi,
let
John.
people run as long as they don't run over other people.
Did someone ask about this?
I
passenger
do a
car
live stream every Friday. I've met what did I just do? Number 263, I think. 263, 264. I don't remember. I haven't missed a Friday.
How you doing, Joyce?
I have not missed a Friday in 5 years. And it is hard. I will say it's hard to do a live stream on Friday and then come back and try to have something different, which is why I don't run my trains usually on live stream, because this is Artie's show. I'm just filling in for Artie until Artie can come back. And I try to keep it sort of in his vein where it's more of a group chat thing rather than just running trains. Although people are encouraged to run trains on video if they want.
We run our trains.
Yeah, it's great that you guys are running your trains, and I like to show it off. Because I run my trains for 3 hours on Friday, and they need a rest. And so I try to do something different. I don't like to do a repeat of my live stream. So I try to have a topic to at least get us started talking, and then we go. And as it is, it's 9:37, which means I probably should be wrapping this up in the next 8 minutes.
But you notice I've got a 68 on camera there, and
do I have a 68 on camera, or you have a 68 on camera?
my one on camera here, me nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, you have to look on the main screen to see what is on, because a lot of times you're showing and talking about something and you're not on screen, somebody else is. So let's go.
There's actually a story behind this particular one.
There's a 68. I like 68s. They're my favorite UK loco.
Oh, I think it's Swiss by was it?
Oh.
I don't know if you can make the name up, but it's named after a friend of mine who's no longer with me.
Okay, well, I can read that it's a North Link.
Yeah. The nameplate here is in honor of Malcolm Frary. He's the former chairman of the Blackpool and Fylde, as was now Fairhaven Lake Model Boat Club.
Oh, okay.
And somebody did the malicious on him on New Year's Eve a couple of years ago.
Once he's done showing that, I want to show the two 440s I showed you guys in the other streams.
Andy. It means you missed and caught the thigh.
Well, I had it weathered by.
Actually, okay, I got to make a joke. If you are underage, plug your ears. Andy, you know what Andy, do you know what a 68 is? It's a 69, but with a snowman. Okay, you could go back to listening. My panel is stunned in silence now. They're drawing 68.
Oh, I'm muted. I didn't even realize I was muted.
Okay.
I was showing off. I was talking, showing off a locomotive, and I wasn't even talking.
Okay. Now, is this another one? I always got to ask, and sometimes I just forget. Is this another one you painted yourself, or this came this way?
This was the same. This was the other one I painted myself. It's
Right.
got updated paint now.
If you guys don't know, Chase takes some of these models and paints them himself, and they're exquisite. The young lad has a lot of talent here, as long as he doesn't mind me calling him young lad. But I'm 61. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, most of it has been repainted and given lining. It is going to get decals on the tender eventually. And then the other 3D printed locomotive, I remember you talking about that from another time.
Right.
Is also here. If I back away from it.
That is fantastic.
It is relatively complete. It just needs to be wired up.
Either that or it's got some snake aliens trying to take it over. Yeah.
No, those are just the wires for the headlight. Oh, and it needs its cylinders.
Yeah, a couple of people are asking if you can back the camera up so it can focus better.
Oh, I like this.
That's a little better, yeah.
Is that better?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Riva Chase, as you called it from last time.
Yeah, and like I said, I am very impressed with what you do.
The entire chassis, as well as the boiler and the cab, are Rivarossi, and the wheels. The rest of it is me. Like, I did the stack, I did the headlight, I did the cow catcher, I did the front part, the pilot, and I redid the tender shell.
A balloon stack. Is that a balloon stack, or are you just happy to see me? Oh, stop.
Now that's a balloon stack from Hot Dog Pilot Andy.
Yes, he likes them. He is a Brit, but he loves his old American trains.
No, I love the old American ones too. Actually, the engine you're seeing in the background back there is the one I said was one of my favorites earlier.
Yeah.
You can just barely see it back there. It's connected to a red passenger car.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I was mentioning earlier. Yeah, I don't know how well. I don't think it's showing up well on camera, but there's a lot of lining on this engine that's kind of hard to see. There's some yellow right there on the. I don't know if that's coming through. Is it?
It is, but yeah, I mean, a combination of things. It's tough to do when you're in the room on the floor, and we're only in 720.
Yeah, this camera, this little web camera is not putting out a good. Yeah.
But no, it's very sharp, very nicely detailed.
And the headlamp. Did you see the deer antlers on the front?
Yeah, and the antlers on the front, which are kind of hard to make out at this case, but you can kind of see them.
Yeah, I need to paint them a lighter brown so they're easier to see. Yeah, and there is going to be decals on the tender. the one thing that
gotta have your corporate name on it.
Yeah, the SNCRR.
Cool.
You know what's funny? The layout you saw before, that's Stairway Village because it's under the stairs.
Okay.
That's the running gag.
That I like it. I like it.
It's called Stairway Village because it's under the stairs.
And
Go.
you could get a nice train on it and call that one the Stairway to Heaven train.
The Stairway to Heaven train.
Ask your parents about Led Zeppelin. Oh, I'm sorry.
Led Zeppelin?
They're a band, and they have a famous song called "Stairway to Heaven." I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm one of those old farts. I am a grandfather, so you know what happens.
Yeah, I listen to that kind of music too, Anthony.
Yeah, I've just discovered something. Speaking about music, and of course, what I do with music, destroy it. I've started working.
No, you rewrite it. You rewrite it.
Well, I rewrite lyrics. Yeah.
Or no, you sample it. That's the word.
Well, sample's a little different. Sample's where you take a part of a song and stick it in your song. I do what it technically is called a parody. I just rewrite the lyrics to an established song.
But sometimes you still get copyrighted for it.
I don't always get copyright claim, but I never monetize them. I don't monetize them anyhow because I figure
right, because that basically tells them, oh, you're making money off of our thing that we should be getting the money
it's somebody
for.
else's work. Even if the lyrics are mine, it's somebody else's work, and I don't want to profit off of somebody else's work. You know.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't monetize it, but anyhow, I now find after some recent discussions with my primary performer, I have to clear it with her. I have to ask her, can she sing it? I can't hit the notes of that song, Anthony. Okay, honey. So I brought one up to her. Do you think you can sing this song? And she's like, I don't know. So, all right, we're going to have to play it and listen to it.
The camera quality on this is really bad.
Well, camera quality will go with lighting too. I don't know if when opportunity allows you to get like a brighter lamp or something that, like when you want to show off, you can have a lamp or even a good flashlight or some sort of projecting light will help because it's evening where you are, like it's evening here, and
yeah, it's dark. I wonder if I turn off the light, how dark it'll actually be. Whoops, because you can see there's some lights in those buildings there.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so if I turn off...
You're staring at a table of marks without Mark.
You're what?
Sorry, Mark disappeared for a bit, and we're just staring at his table and his empty chair. He may have gone to bed for all I know.
No, just in the back room putting...
No, we don't need details. We don't need details. Thank you.
Okay, I turned off the main lights.
Okay. Yep, I can see some lights there. Yeah. You got
it's
some
really
lights
hard to... You
building.
can't see the train tracks, though. Is it just black when I look down?
Well, yeah, now where you're pointing the camera...
There's supposed to be a train on screen.
There we go. There's a little red train with some lights on it. There we go. It could be an orange train. I don't know what color it would be right now. It looks red.
That's a train station.
You said no strings could pull you
at
the station.
Yeah, the buildings at least light up nicely, though. I can get a closer view of those.
Oh, that looks really nice. That looks really nice. You've got some good stuff there. Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, it is 10 of 10. My son and his wife are going to be arriving here any minute. So I think this might be a good time to call it for this evening.
I'll
I have no idea.
Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Christmas train. That one's coming in nice and bright. I love the wreaths on the locomotive there.
It's not supposed to be Christmas. I forgot to take the wreath off again.
Well, I've got a locomotive that permanently has a Christmas wreath on it. It's officially a Christmas locomotive.
Yeah, I forgot to.
Well, thank you for stopping in and saying hello. A Model Railroad show. Appreciated. But yeah, we had a good sized crowd today. Right now, it's according to my list, we have 27, almost 30. We just jumped up. 3 people coming in to say goodbye. Hi, Todd. How are you? But yeah, I need to wrap this up. I mean, tomorrow is a holiday for many people.
Oh, yep, it's Easter.
Tomorrow is Easter.
You should make a video. You remember the pig on the rails? What about an Easter bunny on the rails?
That actually, I know somebody who did that. Somebody did an Easter bunny, and I know Miniature Wonderland has an Easter bunny train too.
It's Miniature Wonderland.
It's actually, if you want to get technical, it's Miniature Wonderland.
I've heard some British folks call it Miniature Wonderland.
Yeah, but no, it's German, and the official pronunciation would be Miniature Wonderland.
Miniature.
I've been there 6 times, and I've met one of the owners. I've met one of the 2 twin brothers that own the place.
Wait, Miniature Wonderland?
Miniature. Yeah.
Miniature Wonderland.
And then, and W in German is pronounced like a V, so you'd say Wunderland.
Wonderland.
Miniature Wonderland. It's an impressive place. I've been there
Miniature
6 times.
Wonderland.
Let's see, in 6 weeks.
I would like to see this.
It'll be
this
7 because I
would like to see this Miniature Wonderland.
It's an epic place. It's the largest model train thing in the world.
Owned by Sebastian and Garrett.
Frederick and Garrett.
Yeah.
Friedrich,
well, they were on the
Friedrich
James May.
I met Garrett. Got to spend 20 minutes with Garrett in 2017. I've got pictures, except I was a lot fatter back then. But I've got pictures of me meeting Garrett. But anyhow,
Miniature Wonderland.
But my family's coming. We have a get together. We don't do anything too crazy anymore. When we were younger, we hosted my wife's family for Easter every year, and but we don't do that anymore. We'd have 30 to 40 people in this basement. I think the biggest we had was like.
And
30.
with all your trains in there?
Oh no, I didn't have my trains back then. Yeah, these trains have only been here. Well, it's about 9 years now. So that I got.
Some of my trains have been with me for over 10 years. No, 12 years. 12
See,
years
you
now.
may be younger, but you have more experience than me.
Yes. I got my first train when I was like, I got my first official electric train when I was like, I want to say like 5.
Okay.
Maybe 6. It was a Bachmann set. And you know what's funny? That same locomotive still runs to this day.
Oh, that's nice. I had my first set was by a company called Tyco, which, I mean, people into model trains probably know Tyco, but and like I said,
by Tyco,
I played with a couple of times, and we moved, and then it got ignored.
I'm a collector of Tyco.
Right, because you had some of the
all those
you showed us around.
Yeah, all those boxes in the back room.
Yep. All right. Anyhow, like I said, I got to wrap this up. So I want to thank Chase for joining us. Hope you had a good time hanging out with us today. We enjoyed seeing your trains and stuff. Randall,
it's always fun joining on a stream, although it's sad when it ends.
Usually.
It always has to come to a close.
Indeed. And there's my buddy Randall, who, Randall, word is that although Fredo is the driver, you're his coach.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
The folks from Can Understand, they might be paying you a visit if there isn't some drastic change.
Okay. Hear me out real quick, Anthony.
No. How many laps were left? When he crashed in first place, how many laps were left?
Like 13 laps to go.
Oh, 13 laps to go. I thought it was less than 10.
It may have been less than 10. I can't remember it.
He's in first place. All he's got to do is stay on the road. There's nobody near him. You are in.
All he's got to do is stay on the road.
And you crash him.
So real quick, just for those that don't know, I'm doing a series that is based on Anthony's series, Matt Clark Railroad Marshal. So the driver in my series is a descendant of one of the quote unquote
Clark.
And bad guys. Yeah. So in the Matt Clark series, Anthony's character is named Fredo Bangino. If you look at the picture, it's in that show. That's actually me. That Anthony dressed up and did some cool stuff with it.
A Mexican
And
Bangino.
so my driver is the descendant of said character, Fredo Bangino the Fourth.
And if he doesn't get his shit together, there's not going to be a Fredo Bangino the Fifth.
No, there's not. I have received many angry phone calls from Cahat Automotive Enterprises. They are not happy.
No. That's the second time he's crashed while in first place.
That's the
You gotta
second
get
time.
gears.
Nobody in front of me. I got this race one.
Then he's gonna have to be taken back by my Lionel NASCAR
So
train.
check out Randall's channel. Check out Randall's channel to catch his NASCAR. What's the
Heat
name?
5 is what it is. It's NASCAR Heat 5 is what it is.
NASCAR Heat 5 series. Because
Anthony,
Fredo Bangino is the guy, his character that he drives as. And yeah, he's based on a character that was in Matt Clark Series 3, but also appeared in an out scene at the end of last Christmas's Christmas special. And if you don't know Matt Clark Railroad Marshal, go check it out. But it is a serial. You really need to start with Series 1, Episode 1. We've done 3 series and 4 Christmas specials, and I think it's funny. Not many people
And the
do.
Cahat, the Cahat thing, part of the NASCAR Heat 5 series, that's actually a reference to Anthony's main villain in season 2.
Yeah, and it became a running joke because we had all kinds of Cahat Enterprises stuff.
Mhm.
The Cahat was a villain, but the Cahat may not be dead. Although he seems to have died at the end of Series 2. There's a possibility. Hint, hint, hint. Foreshadow, foreshadow. Spoiler alert, that he may not have actually died. All right, so for the 4th time, I'm going to try to say goodnight, everybody. All right, take care. Good night. Oh, Jean Ricard came in. An even better time to leave. My son.
what do you mean by an even better
Oh,
time to
hang
leave?
on, I gotta get
Jean
off
Ricard-
anyway, Anthony. I'll catch you guys later.
I have to give him grief. But
Oh,
anyhow,
never mind,
yeah,
that's on
What's
somebody
going
else.
on?
my son is pulling up the drive, so I got to get going.
All right.
Bye.
Appreciate
Good
it,
night,
Anthony.
everybody. Take care. See
Goodbye.
Catch
you.
you guys later.
Bye. Run your trains.
See
run
you.
Somebody else's trains. Steal
Keep the trains running.
Keep the trains running. Keep
Have
it
a
on the
good Easter,
track.
too.
All right.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
good. Happy
See you
Easter.
guys.
Happy Easter, everybody.
Bye.